Porn is poison for your mind and soul. But there's something that destroys men even faster. Something insidious, quiet, already inside you. And chances are, you think it's harmless. You already know how porn can wreck your focus, your confidence, your life. You fight to quit, thinking that will fix everything. But even if you throw away every last stash and never watch another second, you still won't be free. Because porn isn't the only poison. There are other habits, hidden, toxic habits, rotting you from the inside out. You feel the shame after a porn binge. At least you know it's a problem when you close those tabs at 2 a.m. But these other habits, they wear a friendly mask. They disguise themselves as productive, responsible, even virtuous. That's why they can hollow you out without you ever noticing. So what are these silent destroyers? There are 4 of them, hiding in plain sight. Each one is a trap disguised as an ordinary part of life. And if you don't catch them, they'll drag you down faster than porn ever could. Picture this. It's past midnight and you're on hold with customer service, furious over a $30 charge you want back. You tell yourself it's about principle, that every dollar counts. Meanwhile, your real work, that project you swore to finish tonight, sits untouched. But you can't let this go, not until you get what you're owed. Eventually, a supervisor picks up. You argue every little detail, voice shaking with frustration, determined to win. Minutes turn into an hour. By 2 a.m. you get what you demanded, refund approved. You feel a surge of triumph, like you've conquered something. But in 6 hours you're supposed to be at a job interview. Now you'll have to walk in exhausted. Dawn comes, and you stumble into that interview on fumes. Your eyes are bloodshot, your mind foggy. Questions land and your answers fall flat. You can tell you're blowing it. You won a $30 fight last night, and lost a far bigger battle today. As you walk out, it hits you. The opportunity you needed slipped through your fingers because you chose to chase crumbs. This is the refund-warrior mindset. Fighting tooth and nail over scraps, convinced you're doing the right thing, while your real opportunities wither away. It's pure scarcity thinking. You become so obsessed with not losing a little money or pride that you sacrifice something far more valuable in the process. Why do you do it? Because a small battle like that feels safe. You know you can win it. Snagging that refund or proving that trivial point gives you a quick rush of victory. Meanwhile, the big challenges, the ones that could actually change your life, remain untouched, looming in the background. It's easier to fight for $30 than to face something that scares you. You even dress it up as righteousness. You say, "I don't let anyone take advantage of me." You pretend it's about being responsible and standing up for yourself. But that's a lie. It's fear wearing armor made of pride, fear of being cheated. That fight makes you weak because it pulls you away from the battles that matter. And what does it cost you? Time, hours burned on trivial quests, energy and focus, all that mental churn over nothing, even dignity, as you shrink into a petty, bitter version of who you could be. Each time you choose to be the refund warrior, you reinforce the chains keeping you small. You win the tiny fight and lose a piece of yourself. You pretend it's noble, but you know the truth. So drop it. Let go of the petty battles. Next time you're tempted to wage war over a few bucks or a trivial slight, stop and ask, is this really worth my energy? It's probably not. Save your fight for what truly matters. Your goals, your growth, your family, your mission. You can't grasp the future when your fists are clenched fighting for crumbs. Great men aren't obsessed with refunds and small slights. They're too busy building something that matters. Do you want to be the penny-pinching warrior guarding a piggy bank, or the man forging an empire? You can't do both. Every ounce of effort you give to the trivial is stolen from the meaningful. Enough. Step away from the refund counter and step into the real arena of your life. If that's not you, maybe you're the perpetual builder, the man with a grand project that never gets released. It's midnight, and you're hunched over your laptop, perfecting something you've been toiling on for 2 years. You keep telling yourself it's not ready for the world to see. Not yet. Then someone else launches your idea before you do. The project you poured your soul into is now out in the world under their name. Your heart sinks as their product gets the spotlight, while yours remains unfinished on your hard drive. You tell yourself their version isn't as good, but it doesn't matter. They had the courage to put theirs out, and you didn't. You stare at your screen, the glow of your unsent creation haunting you. All that work, all those late nights, and no one will ever know because you never pulled the trigger. You were so afraid it wouldn't be perfect, afraid it might fail, that now it's all wasted. You didn't even give it a chance. You failed by default. This is building without launching, the endless quest for perfection. You think you're being diligent, hardworking. In truth, you're hiding. You're hiding behind one more tweak, one more revision. Because as long as you don't put your work out, it can't be criticized or rejected. It's procrastination wearing the disguise of productivity. You call it perfectionism. You say you have standards. But perfectionism is just fear in fancy shoes. Fear of judgment. Fear that your best effort might still not be good enough. So you never declare it done. You keep tinkering, telling yourself you're improving it, when really you're just postponing the moment of truth. Here's the brutal truth. Not launching is failing. All your hard work means nothing if it never sees the light of day. While you've been hiding in the shadows, others, less talented but more courageous, have been taking their shots and moving ahead. They're getting feedback, improving, seizing opportunities you let slip. And you're still in the workshop, polishing an idea that no one ever sees. Late at night, when everything is quiet, you feel that nagging doubt. What if I never actually put it out there? That thought terrifies you, because it forces you to admit how much time you've wasted. But recognizing it means there's still a chance to change. Admit that no amount of polishing will ever make you feel ready. It's time to break the cycle. Set a real deadline, not someday, but an actual date on the calendar. Then launch it, even if it isn't perfect. Especially if it isn't. Let the world see your work. Yes, it might flop or draw criticism, but at least it will be real, and you'll learn from it. The only way you truly fail is by never trying. Better an imperfect product in the world than a perfect one in your head. Launch it. Whatever it is, do the thing you've been holding back. Show yourself you have the courage to put skin in the game. Once you do, you'll wonder why you ever spent so long waiting for perfect. If you've dodged the last traps, watch out for this one: the addiction to novelty. Maybe you're not paralyzed by perfection or fighting over pennies. Maybe you're addicted to the rush of the new. You start projects like a man possessed, then abandon them as soon as the shine wears off. 1 month you're learning to code, hell-bent on launching the next great app. The next, you've dropped it to start an e-commerce business, then a podcast, then a new job in a new city. Each time you dive in head first, buzzing with excitement. You chase that high of a fresh start, convinced that this time, this thing, will be the breakthrough. For a while, it feels incredible. You're improving rapidly, learning new things, obsessed with the possibilities. But then, the grind kicks in. The novelty wears off. The results aren't coming as fast as you hoped. The work starts to feel like work. So what do? You look for the next hit of inspiration, the next new thing. Off you go, chasing another shiny object. You leave the last project half finished, another addition to the graveyard of your ideas, blogs with a few posts, businesses that never made a profit. You're constantly moving, but never arriving. You say you're exploring and being versatile, But there's an ache you can't ignore. You secretly wonder if you'll ever follow through on anything. This is the addiction to novelty, shiny object syndrome. It's a seductive trap. Starting something new is exhilarating, full of endless possibility. But staying with it, seeing it through to the end, that's hard, slow, unglamorous work. And if you're hooked on the high of the new, you never last long enough to see any real results. You are in love with the idea of being great, but not with the process of getting there. When the work stops being easy and you hit a plateau, you bail. You've conditioned yourself to crave the high of starting, not the grind of continuing. As soon as the newness wears off, you're already chasing the next thrill, and every time you jump to the next shiny thing, you leave behind a bit of your confidence. You prove to yourself that you don't finish what you start. You're teaching your mind that you quit when it gets hard. Each new beginning feels exciting, but each unfinished endeavor chips away at your self-respect. You wonder if you'll ever stick with anything long enough to succeed. Maybe you're afraid that if you commit fully and then fail, you'll have no excuses left. You get to say, "I could have succeeded if I'd stuck with it." Or maybe you're just addicted to excitement, unable to tolerate the mundane steps that greatness requires. Either way, the result is the same. You never stick around long enough to win. No more excuses. Pick one thing, and give it everything you've got. Commit to it fully, far beyond the point where it stops being fun. When the novelty dies and boredom creeps in, that's your signal to push harder, not to run. Embrace the suck. Embrace the grind that separates those who achieve from those who merely dream. Finish something, anything. Prove to yourself that you can. There's a power in seeing something through to the end, a self-respect no new thrill can give you. Once you finish one thing, you'll learn more about yourself than from a dozen abandoned starts. So choose your path and see it through, no matter how long or hard it gets. Break the chains of novelty and finally taste the rewards of perseverance. Say you've conquered all these, you start tasting success, and that's exactly when the last trap strikes. You get comfortable. At first, you've earned it, right? You put in the work. You made sacrifices, and now you have something to show for it. So you ease up a little. You take a well-deserved break. Maybe that break stretches into a habit. Sleeping in, skipping workouts, enjoying the good life you denied yourself for so long. You tell yourself it's fine. You're successful now. Why not relax? But weeks turn into months of coasting. That edge you once had grows dull. You skip the gym more often. You stop pushing as hard. Your goals drift because you're doing better than most people already, right? Meanwhile, someone out there who's hungrier is gaining on you. You don't notice it yet, but you've lost the drive that made you great. Then one day, reality smacks you in the face. The promotion goes to someone who kept grinding. Your business starts to falter because a competitor outworked you. You realize your skills have stagnated. The fire you had is now barely an ember, and you feel that jolt of panic and regret. You let victory lull you to sleep, and now everything you built is at risk. This is the comfort loop, the sedation of success. You think you've made it, so you let your guard down. The hunger that drove you fades and is replaced by complacency. You start believing you can afford to coast, but the moment you stop moving forward, you start rolling backward. There's no standing still. Comfort is a slow poison. It doesn't kill you outright. It sedates you as your ambitions quietly die. You lose your edge while you're busy basking in past glory. The world keeps moving, but you've pressed pause. Your skills dull from disuse. Your competitors sharpen their knives while you rest. What you call enjoying success is starting to look a lot like stagnation, and comfort feels so good. That's the trap. It whispers that you've earned this rest. And yes, enjoy what you've earned, but never let celebration turn into stagnation. The moment you think you're untouchable because of one win, you invite ruin. Success breeds arrogance, and arrogance breeds neglect. Before you know it, what you built begins to crumble because you stopped paying attention. Deep down, you sense it. Late at night, there's that whisper that you're slipping. You see someone younger, hungrier coming up fast, and it unsettles you. You know you've grown soft. You traded your drive for a little comfort, and a part of you is ashamed, asking, "Is this all I am now?" It's time to wake up. Yes, celebrate your wins, but don't you dare settle on them. Success is not a sofa to lounge on, it's a platform to launch from. Set new goals that scare you again. Throw yourself back into the challenge. Do the things that are hard and uncomfortable. The things that made you successful in the first place. Stay hungry, especially when you're satisfied, because the fight never ends. And that's a good thing. The day you get comfortable is the day you begin to wither. So if you've climbed one mountain, find a higher peak. The comfort zone might feel cozy, but nothing grows there. Your greatest achievements come when you seek growth over comfort. No victory lap lasts forever. There's always another battle to fight. Embrace it. Look at these 4 habits we've exposed. Different on the surface, but each one will rot you from within faster than any obvious vice. Why? Because they fly under the radar. They masquerade as common sense, as harmless everyday behavior, while quietly eating away at your potential. They're self-sabotage in disguise, and they've been killing your growth without you even realizing. You might think cutting out porn or some other obvious bad habit is enough. It isn't. Not if you're still letting these cancers grow in the shadows. Quitting one poison while dosing yourself with another won't save you. To truly change, you have to confront the uncomfortable truths. It's not the loud, ugly vices that break most men. It's the small, respectable ones that quietly drain them. The good news is, now that you see these patterns, you can break them. Awareness is your weapon. Hold yourself accountable when you slip. Don't let these habits go unchallenged. Where you used to cling to pennies, let them go. Where you used to hide your work, push it out. When you itch for something new, stay the course. When you get too comfortable, sharpen your sword again. I know it's possible because I've lived it. I fell into every one of these traps, wasting years fighting petty battles, hiding my work, chasing new thrills, and growing complacent. I nearly lost myself, but I clawed my way out. If I can do it, so can you. This is your line in the sand. The moment you decide you are done being quietly destroyed, done with mediocrity and half-lived potential, you don't need more advice or motivation. You need to choose. Will you break out of your comfortable cage and become who you were meant to be, or stay asleep in the warm dream that's killing you? Stand up and fight. Now, kill the habits that have been killing you. This is your life, your one shot. Every second you hesitate, you give away your power. Step up and claim the life that's waiting for you. Will you?